Hola, people! Incredible greetings. All right, yep. So glad I did come over here because it has it set to locked. So we're going to go ahead and unlock that and get that all shared out. How are you guys doing? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. How is everyone? I got to get this all shared out. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Hey, Nelly. Welcome in, guys. As you guys come in, double tap the screen if you're watching over on TikTok. Drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching over on Facebook and YouTube, go ahead and give the video a like. All right, we are all shared out over here. Let me put this on so that I can see comments. And we technically have still 11 minutes for this heat press to set up. Incredible greetings, incredible greetings. Hello, 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 incredible greetings. Let me actually move this over to this screen. I think I'll be able to see it a little bit better. And also click on things from this screen. Hello, hello. Thank you for hopping on from Atlanta, Illinois. Incredible greetings. So if I can get you guys to just say hello, like the video no matter where you're watching. If you're watching over on YouTube, give the video a thumbs up. If you're watching over on Facebook, then give the video a like, tag a friend. Please hit share. Even if you delete it later, just share it out. That helps the broadcast because we are going to do a free webinar on all things sublimation, okay? On all things sublimation. Thank you so much, Nelly, for sharing. If you guys just hit copy link, that counts as a share. Let's see if we can get up to 10 shares. Even if you just copy the link over on TikTok, let's get up to 10 shares. Thank you for joining us from Northeast Texas. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Welcome in. All right, so we're going to, nope, this needs to go over here because then I don't feel like I'm looking off to the side because I can kind of see what's going on right there. All right, so hello, 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 hello. Welcome in, everybody. It's going to be a little minute. Want to try and get some people in here, get the algorithm going. If you guys hit share, you comment, you like the video, it'll help boost the algorithm so we can get some folks in here. Okay. So we're going to do that. Let's see. All right. So you guys, some of you guys may know, some of you may not know, but I am someone, or our company, we love to share, we love to educate, help answer your questions. So you can start off. I will get to them. I'll probably answer your question throughout this webinar, but feel free to go ahead and post your question. If you've had any questions in regards to sublimation, how it works, what inks, what paper, what substrates, what temps, what time, go ahead and start putting those questions that you've had about sublimation. If you've had any frustrations with it, such as color, like correct colors, ghosting, not making your tumblers tight enough, whatever it is, I want you guys to flood the chat with whatever your questions, your concerns, your frustrations. If you've had wins, if including sublimation in your crafting and your creative endeavors has helped you, make you extra money. Goodness, what is up today? Go ahead and put that in the chat, because there are some people who are considering getting started with sublimation, and it's a small investment depending on which route you take as far as printers. And it would be nice for them to know from others, if it is a good investment, if you can see a return on that investment. So share with, in the chat, if you are doing sublimation, if it is working well for you, even if it's not like completely profitable, but you can see the growth and things like that. If it's an upward, trajectory, go ahead and share that in the chat, and just start putting your questions, your frustrations, the things that make you want to pull your hair out. Go ahead and start flooding the chat with that. I definitely will be going through those and addressing some of those questions. Like I said, it might come up as I'm going through the webinar. Okay. So hello, incredible greetings. Thank you guys for tapping in. Don't forget to like the video. If you're watching over on YouTube, you do have to come out of the live chat. So just temporarily close it. You can give the video a thumbs up and then come right back and engage with us, okay? So let me see. I saw some over here. Let's see what we're starting with. I'm having issues with finding the right paper trimmer for tumblers. What you mean right paper trimmer? All you need is a ruler, a blade, or scissors. What printer do you use for sublimation? Okay, I like that question. We're going to talk about that. Let's see. Were there any others? Okay, no. So those are the only ones so far over here. So we have what printer do I use and trying to find the right cutter. All right, so let's see. I have trouble at times with lining up the seams, and sometimes temping time when I haven't done it in a while on tumblers. Okay, so Karen, if you can let me know, what method are you using? Are you using an oven? If you are using an oven, are you using a regular old house oven, just a regular conventional oven? Are you using a convection oven? Are you using a small one? Are you using a large air fryer? Are you using a tumbler press? I need to know those things in order to be able to help you with your tumblers. Sublimation is working for me. I have some bumps, but I think it's my heat press. Okay, what heat press are you using? Can I use your ink with the 2800? Okay, so that's a good question. I need a larger press. What's a good larger press? Larger than 15 by 15. If I can pull out, that's even better. I'm so childish. If I can pull out, okay, yes, I'm very childish. My problem is it doesn't matter how tight I wrap my tumblers in the heat press, my top and bottoms don't come out right. Okay, are you talking about 20-ounce tumblers? I have seams and I don't like it. Okay. These are all things that I can definitely help you address. Okay. Let's see. All right, let's see over here. Were there any others? Hey, how are you? Welcome in. All right, so that was the only question over there. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. I have to put content disclosure on because we're going to be talking about my products. I almost forgot. 20 ounce or 30 ounce. Is your press a 20 or a 30 ounce attachment, or do you have both? If you don't have a large press, how do you press bigger shirts? Okay, excellent. These are some excellent questions. This is what I want to see. These are the type of questions I want to be able to help you guys with. So thank you for dropping those questions early, okay? I have been using a tumbler press, but I brought a sublimation oven that's still in the box. Okay, so I see two issues with a tumbler press. Sometimes I have a blue overspray that I see on my Sublimation prints. I use a 7720. I just changed the cartridges, hoping that's the problem. Okay, so you have a 30-ounce attachment. Thank you. All right, so let's see here. I don't cut very well with scissors. I tried the ruler method with an X-Acto, but it doesn't work. Something you have to practice. Like, to be honest, if you're doing it, it's like, I know it can be frustrating, but to be honest, a paper trimmer doesn't make your life easier, because you would have to get it right on that line, and like you have to line it up. I was like, on mine, I have to like kind of crease it over like the edge of it to make sure it's right there. So you'll end up fiddling around with it so much. So when you're saying using the ruler and a blade, it's not working, what exactly is happening when you're using a ruler and a blade to cut it down? Because that's one of the like surefire ways to do it. What type of ruler are you using? That's going to be an important one, right? So I'm going to address that. All right, so we got a few people in, saw some questions, we got some going, so let's go ahead and get started. I am Shakia, the professor. Our company is HS Inc. 365. I don't know if this is going to be, I don't know if I sound distant to y'all, because I might be like from the side from this microphone. But our company is HS Inc. 365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We carry Sublimation paper, Sublimation ink, pigment ink, heat tape, and things like that, okay? So what we're going to discuss today is sublimation, all things sublimation. So Sublimation 101. There's a lot to sublimation. There's some things like on the beginner level, things that you should really, really be focusing on in your journey of like learning sublimation. And then there are going to be some things that you do learn on the way, and they are more advanced things. I know. We're in these groups and we see all of these things being made, but some of those things are not really beginner friendly. And that is one of the most important thing that you guys have to understand if you are new to sublimation, is that everything is not beginner friendly. Some things is going to take some trial and error. You're going to have some mistakes. You have to create what I told them like before, structure and routine. Create structure and routine, and you have to just be doing the same thing. Or like, you can't change your method. I think one of the evenings I was on, and I think it was Kim, and she was like, oh yeah, I do it different every single time. You can't do that. You have to practice doing it the same exact way every single time. Okay. So let's talk a little bit. I think it's best if I show, hey, and make sure that you drop your link too, because the INKiversary sale has begun. So make sure that you drop your link. Okay. How do I know if a tumbler I have can be sublimated? Ooh, that's a good one too. Okay, I'm going to show you guys some things. So just so that you understand what sublimation is and what you can do with it. This is something that we build up to, right? I want you guys to understand that sublimation goes way beyond just doing shirts, doing tumblers. There are certain companies, like my mom has, I always call them, she calls them Temu dresses, like Temu. There's enough, like a lot of the Fashion Nova stuff that has like that stretch, and you see all of these designs and stuff on it. Believe it or not, that is done via sublimation. A lot of clothes women wear, like the tight ones and all the prints and stuff, that is done via sublimation. It's what's called cut and sew. So they basically do the same exact process that you are doing as a crafter. They are printing it out on a printer, much larger printer than you probably have in-house, and they are printing it on a much larger heat press. They're actually not even really using what's like your traditional heat presses, where you have to manually pull that down. Most of them, like on the industrial level, they're actually using a roll to roll, something that you guys have probably never seen, probably never knew that there was something more than just a clamshell or a swing away or a hybrid press. But yes, there are industrial heat presses where it's literally two big rollers that are heated up, and it just feeds through automatically. They have the fabric on one side. They just throw the paper down, it goes through it, and it literally catches on a roll. So sublimation can be like, it's big time. You know, if you learn the foundation now, you know, at some point you might, you know, be able to do business plan, things like that, and really be able to do it on a larger scale. This right here is my son's old football uniform. every time, well, practice shirt. And tomorrow I'll probably get the jersey. But everyone's always asking me, oh my God, how did you sublimate the pink on the black? We don't sublimate pink onto the black. This entire thing is sublimated. Then I get the, oh my God, that's a lot of black. It's really no more than if this was all colored and the amount of ink that it puts down. I know it gets kind of like, ooh, that's a lot of like one color, but it really is not a lot of ink in hindsight. So if I were to flip this inside out for you, you're going to see that it is white on the inside, okay? And we can see here where it's folded under. So that color kind of comes around, all right? If we look at this, there's absolutely no gaps, no white marks or anything like that when it comes to the seam. Even the collar, there is no white, even though the base is white. This is what's called cut and sew. This is a more advanced way of doing sublimation, okay? Cut and sew, but this is still sublimation. There are dresses that are cut and sew, where the fabric is dyed or sublimated, and then it is cut out, and then all the pieces are sewn together. So there is a panel for the front and back of the shirt. There's a panel for the sleeves down to the collar. It is a thin band. So even the collars, they're not just solid black ones they put on there. They sublimate that as well. Because for sometimes the design goes into the collar. So I wanted to start here just so that you guys understand the power of sublimation. How many of you guys knew that when you see things like this, you see dance uniforms, cheer uniforms, a lot of the football ones, if it doesn't have like the raised letters on it, that is sublimation. How many of you guys did not know that? You love my shirt? Yes, we are America's HR department. Vote, okay, and hire the right candidate. I'm not telling you who to vote for, just vote, okay? So who did not know that things like this was sublimation? Uh-oh, I lost my feed. Did not know that. Okay. That's crazy. I'm always thinking that's so much ink. Most people think that this is so much ink, but it's really no different. This right here and what you guys would normally consider to be like an all over shirt, how we would do it in-house, something like this, whether it's all over front and back, it's about the same amount. Okay. So this is one that I did do in-house, and it's a large shirt. This is I don't even see what this one is. I think this one was like a 3X or a 4X shirt. I want to say maybe 3X. But when you're doing it this way, you could have some imperfections, like not being able to get under the sleeves, some voids of color. This one messed up because I forgot to put my pressing pillow. So the color, because I did not get even pressure, it did not transfer. So you would have thought that this was like the front of the shirt. This is actually the back of the shirt. And so that was a little boo-boo. And that's some of the things that can happen. And then this side is when I'm just testing out colors. So when the shirt messes up, I use it to test out prints and test out colors and things of that nature. But most of you guys who think of all over, this is what you're thinking of. Like it's like this. You're taking a shirt that's ready-made and applying the color. It's really no more color, no more ink than this. I mean, of course, this is a smaller size, but it's about the same. Okay. So I didn't know. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, awesome. So we're starting off sharing some good information with you guys. All right, cool beans. Okay, so now that I've kind of showed you this, there are other things that you can make, such as tumblers. I thought I brought the mug in tomorrow. I'm actually doing this again tomorrow. So I'll have my mug. I have my can cooler. And this is fabric. This is polyester. So we're going to talk about what's required for sublimation. Then I have a few more shirts over here. And we're going to press a pillowcase, a ceramic coaster, 2 mouse pads, and a little magnet thingamajiggy, whatever. That's what we're gonna do today. I have some other stuff for tomorrow. Other things that you can do, like hard type substrates. These are really cool. Memorials. Most people use a memorial, but you can use them like regular pictures. So of course, my children and my husband are not, unalive, but they're slates. I really used this one when we were testing out our paper with the slate to figure out the times. So with our paper, you can sublimate at 365 degrees, 30 seconds. You're going to see it. Stick around. I promise you, you're going to see it. No smoke and mirrors. There's no editing, no cutting. This is set to 365, and we're going to press in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. So, of course, I tried to test it on the slate. It doesn't work. Then we did 2 minutes. Have any of you guys ever done slates? And if so, with the paper that you're using, how many minutes did it take or seconds did it take for you to sublimate it? So we did test out other ones like 3 minutes and 5 minutes, and not much of a difference. You can see that 2 minutes looks great. No different than these, okay? No, I don't do cut and sew. I don't do cut and sew at all. And then once we had it, I end up subbing this image of them at 2 minutes. Okay? So things like that can be done. I have my little box here, which we're actually going to do a lot of these tomorrow, because tomorrow it's our INKiversary. Hey, INKiversary. It's our INKiversary. Sharon Davenport, do you own a heat press? Do you do anything with a heat press, vinyl or anything like that? Anything with a heat press. So there are some like fabric coasters in here. There is like a little zipper bag. There's a lot of keychains and earrings in here. There is a pillow in here. There are some very interesting different types of mouse pads in here. So I'm actually going to be doing some of these tomorrow for our INKiversary. Because it's our INKiversary, just in case you guys can't stick around, I don't want you to miss out on a good deal. If you didn't see it on our post, it will be active again at 12 midnight if you can't get it right now. But if you go and purchase on our website right now, all of our paper, all of the paper is $15.63 for our INKiversary. So it's our INKiversary deal. $15.63. Every single size from 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, 13 by 19 in fast dry only. Tomorrow there will be tacky on there, but tonight only, all the fast dry, $15.63. It's going to be that price tomorrow, but if you take advantage now, all orders $45 or more before taxes or shipping, you get an additional $5 off. So our paper, this paper is normally $20.30, $23.65, $33.65, $36.50. That's a big savings. Okay? Very big savings. So $15.63 right now, shop.hsink365.com. You spend $45 or more, you'll get $5 off. So even if you only need 1 pack of paper, but you get one of those classes, you're still going to get that $5 off. It's automatic, $45 or more. And you don't have to put anything in. It's an automatic code. It will apply at checkout. Okay? So just want to let y'all know about that. Yours is separate. Rolls are not a part of this. So with the anniversary sale or anniversary deals, it's going to be just our cut sheets of paper. Tomorrow, you'll be able to take advantage of, we're starting at midnight, of ink, the ink discounts, and tacky paper, but no rolls. But yours, I have your roll, okay? But they're not a part of the sale. We also have heat tape. Heat tape is not a part of it because this is, the star of the show is our paper. It was 4 years ago today or tomorrow when I decided to launch the paper. But we do have non-staining, non-marking tape as well. So you can take advantage of that and use that to kind of get to your 45. We have 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, and 6 inch wide tapes. Okay. So just want y'all to know that before we get into it. Okay. So all of our packs come with 100 sheets. Good question. All right. So all of our packs come with 100 sheets. And that $5 is only good until 30 minutes after this live. So I'm figuring we'll probably be on for like another hour, 9:30. So it's only good. That $5 is only good until 10 o'clock. Only good until 10 o'clock. All right. So sublimation is a process that requires a specific type of ink. You cannot use your regular everyday ink like dye inks or pigment inks. It is a special type of ink. Now, it can look really similar to pigment ink. This one is sublimation, this one is pigment, right? But it is a special type of ink that is heat activated. Now, I was waiting to see, did Sharon say she had a heat press? Did Sharon? Okay, so a lot of people say, I don't do sublimation because they don't have a printer. You can order prints. If you have a heat press, and even if you don't have a heat press, let's say you have an oven, your regular oven, you can order prints and you can still do sublimation. It's an amazing process. It can be really, really easy once you get the hang of it, but you do not have to have a printer. Someone just has to have a printer with sublimation ink in it. Our sublimation ink comes in 140 milliliter bottles. They are keyed for all eco tanks. People always ask me, can I use this with the F570 and the F170, which is Epson's true sublimation printer? Technically, yes, you can. But you can't come after me if your colors may or because no company will ever be able to completely mimic another brand's ink. So it is still sublimation ink. It will work in that printer. Your colors may. Again, I don't have an F170. I don't have an F570. So that's why I always give the disclaimer that it may tweak the colors just a little bit. I mean, yellow ink is yellow ink, black ink is black ink, but it could possibly tweak it. But can you use this? Yes. That's actually where we get our 140 milliliter bottles from, because the F570 had 140. So we did 140 with ours because they are key for the eco tank. Now, it's not the correct key where you can make a mistake and put this inside a magenta, whereas with theirs, you can't make that mistake. But yes, you can fill your F570s and your F170s with this ink, okay? If you want to be able to use a less expensive ink, okay? But it takes a printer that requires this type of ink. So I saw someone ask about printers, right? When it comes to printers, any printer that is heat-free, technically, Brother printers have a piezoelectric printhead. It's heat-free. However, there are no refillable cartridges. Brother doesn't have like a true tank type printer to just fill with ink, okay? Your HPs, you cannot use. It's not advisable to use it because you're going to start that sublimation process because it uses heat to expel its ink. Same thing with Canon printers. They are a thermal print head, so they are not ideal. You want to use, if you're going to convert, converting is using a printer where the ink that came in the box, you're going to use a different ink than what came in the box. So you're not going to use, oh, I thought I had one over here. You're not going to use the Epson ink, this little skinny bottle. You would end up putting this ink in it. I don't see it. But yeah, you would end up putting this ink in instead. So even for an eco tank, you are converting that printer. Some people always thought that, oh, it's only the cartridge bases that you are converting. You will hear a lot of people say, oh, a sublimation printer, and it's an Epson ET2800, Epson 4700, 15,000, 8550. Those are not sublimation printers. If you put ink, sublimation ink in that printer, The ink that comes in that printer is a very dark ink. Epson will have you take a picture of your lines or the windows on there. And when they see color, they know that you have put a different ink than what came in that box, and they will void that. They'll tell you, we can't even help you troubleshoot it. Okay. Once they see that picture, they will not replace it if anything happens. But if you get the protection plan, the ones that you have to pay for, you can take that printer back to those stores and they will either issue you a credit or replace your printer when you pay for the protection plan. Even if it breaks, they will replace it because that is not a free warranty. That is insurance. It is a protection plan. So that is something that's really important to know, because in a lot of the groups, they always say, oh, you void the warranty. That is true. But a protection plan is separate from that. So I really recommend that if you're going to get a converted printer, that you do purchase the protection plan that the various stores or even A to Z offers. Because once you put this in here, they will know simply by looking at a picture because the ink is different. So you have to put this in that printer. Once you print this out, technically, you don't need sublimation paper. Once this ink is on any type of paper, if you go to our website tomorrow for the INKiversary, our sublimation seminar will be on sale. So starting at midnight, you can take advantage of that as well. But when you're looking at that one, I show an example of sublimating with standard regular paper. We also have a video on our Honestly Speaking YouTube channel where I just did regular standard paper. I also posted the pictures. We also did colored cardstock in that seminar. We did color cardstock and it still transfers. Now, was it as sharp? No. Did all of the ink transfer? No. Because those papers are meant to absorb the ink. So it's sitting inside. So all of it can't transfer. You see a lot of the ink still on there. So your colors are not as bright, as vibrant with using standard copy paper or something like cardstock. Now, can you use glossy paper? Some people say, oh, I use that. I use laser paper. You can, but all of these printers have pinwheels to them. So if you decide to use a laser or a glossy paper so that it doesn't soak in, you are going to have the pinwheel marks on it. So I don't advise that. But if you need to, you're in a pinch, you can use cardstock. It can be colored cardstock and it will still transfer. Your colors just won't be popping, okay? But you can use it. So the only real thing that you need for sublimation is a heat source and the ink, because you can print to a brown paper bag and it will still transfer, okay? So ink and then, of course, paper. Now, the difference with our paper or just any sublimation paper is it's not, well, good sublimation paper is not intended to soak that ink up. You guys are using a lot of papers that soak your ink up to where once you go and you press it, even at 400 degrees in 60 seconds, you still see a lot of actual color on your paper. You still are looking at a lot of color on your paper because some of that ink soaked up into that paper. Our paper, the ink kind of sort of sits on top. So you're going to see that once we press it. It kind of sort of sits on top. That way it can immediately release and it's going to be a void of color. Okay, you're going to get 98% ink transfer or color transfer when you press with it. And the best part is you're going to get 98% not at 400 degrees. Everything that I kind of showed you, 365 degrees, 30 seconds. 365 degrees, 30 seconds is all it will take for every single substrate. Well, I'll say this, that is the ideal range, but we know all heat presses are not created equal. Some of them are a little bit older. They may have like the heating elements may not heat up. So it's not about setting your thermostat to 365. You will need to get an infrared gun or a probe, and you will need to measure the heat. The heat press needs to output 365. So it might be where you set your heat press to 370 and it is running hotter or, well, yeah, it's running cooler. So you may have to set it for 375 for the output to be 365. Some of them run hotter. So you may have to set your thermostat to 355, but it's going to output 365. As long as it is outputting 365, you're good. But also with that, because it works at 365, let's say your heat press runs hot or cold from 355 to 375. It's okay, right? We just don't want it to be where it's running super hot. So if your heat press runs hot, you don't want to set it to 375 because then that means that it's now at 385. We're creeping up to that 400. You can actually burn, and over sublimate. There is a thing called over sublimation. So if you set it for 365, as long as your heat press isn't running like 20 degrees off, like meaning you set it to 365, but it's like really outputting 345, you can do 30 seconds. If you don't trust it, do 35, do 40. But never again will you have to do 400 degrees, 60 seconds when you are using this paper on every single substrate except glass, ceramic, acrylic, and slate. Those are the only ones that require a different time. Acrylic requires a different temperature and time because, it's pliable. But the slate, still 365, is just 2 minutes. Ceramic is 365, but it takes more like 60 seconds. You're going to see on the coaster. Now, if you're doing a mug, that takes a little bit more time depending on which method you're using. If you're doing glass, it's like, depending on like how it's set up, it can be around like 5 minutes or so, 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the type of coating on your glass. So those are the only ones. You have to find that sweet spot. You have to do tests like we did here. Okay. Buy yourself an extra one, make you some strips, test that out. Once you kind of figure out what is the sweet spot, now you know that, write it down in a notebook. You'll never have to worry about that again. 365 will always, or if yours has to be set at 370, that will always be your temperature. You won't have to think, oh, well, I'm pressing a can cooler or koozie. What's the temperature? I'm pressing a baby bib. What's the temperature? I'm pressing a shirt. What's the temperature? You won't have to ask that question in groups anymore when using this paper because it is one temperature. The only thing that adjusts, like I said, is time for those 4 substrates. Everything else, as long as you have even, not heavy, but even pressure, 365, whatever time works, will work on every single substrate. And we're going to be able to see that in demonstration. So I'm going to kind of pause on what all you need for sublimation to now just go and do a demonstration, just in case you guys can't stick around for the entire time, okay? So I'm going to start with, let's put you right here, okay? I'm going to start with the mouse pad. We can do white or we can do black. Which one should we do? White or black? White or black? Which one should we do? While I'm waiting for you guys to do that, let's see. I'm going to look through some of these questions. No, nothing is applied to the slate before. So we're going to talk about what other substrates and what has to be on those substrates. So technically it is something to like applied to it. I did not have to apply anything to it, but it does come pre-coated, but we're going to talk about that. I've done the slates and I used your paper and it came out amazing. Don't remember the time. Okay. So we're going to talk about shirts and what we need as far as that polyester. Let's see. Somebody says ordering now. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see. I got to get more heat tape. I'm getting low. What are the different things of the tape used for? Excellent question. We'll come back to that. What size tape for the tumblers? I'll come back to that. Can you sublimate on a towel? When we talk about hard substrates, we're going to do that. Are inks on sale now? Because nope, inks are not on sale. The only thing that's on sale during this live is the paper. Let's see. Everyone, the professor has the best paper. It doesn't bleed. That's the only thing I use. Thank you. Does your paper have writing on the back of the paper to eliminate loading errors? So no, it doesn't. But you can definitely tell. You can even hear it. The front side is rough. The back side is smooth. The print side is rough. The back side is smooth. Okay. So and you can feel it and you can see it. So you will know which side is which. Also, my recommendation is when you get your paper, write on this side top, where the cover sheet is, right top. So when you're pulling your paper out, which I don't want to do with this one because that's the one that is, oh, well, I guess I could have done it with that one. So when you open your pack, this is the print side, the side that's facing the cover sheet. So take a sticker, put it there, take a marker and write top. So that way when you're pulling it out, if you have a printer where it's front loaded, you literally take it out and go just like this and put it in there, okay? I mean, not if it's rear loaded. If it has a tray, you take it out and you drop it down, okay? So either put it like this or you drop it down. But the side that's facing the cover sheet is your print side, okay? All right, so I saw a lot of white over here. Black. I knew y'all was going to say black. I see more black. So we're going to go ahead and press the black one, okay? With sublimation, sometimes you might get ink on the edges. It is my recommendation that you always trim your paper down. No matter what, even if you're going to use like the whole thing, never, ever put it down, because if there is even a slightest bit of ink that you do not see, we like to call those that phantom ink, you may not see it, but if it is there, because sublimation is heat activated, the moment heat applies to that, it is going to gas off and it will transfer to your substrate. That is how sublimation works. It's printed on here. Once you heat it, it's gassed off to transfer. That word gas scares so many people because they think that it's a gas that's harmful, that's toxic, that's on a periodic chart. It is not. Gas just means vapor. It's like it's floating in the air. There's nothing else happening other than a transfer from the paper to the substrate, and that's the way it's described. Sublimation, this is not the only form of sublimation. Dry ice is a form of sublimation. So it turns into a vapor. That is what they mean by gas. So it's always, really in the craft world, using the word gas always makes people scared. It goes through a gaseous state. So it's not a harmful gas. So yes, you can do your tumblers in an oven. I use my tumblers in the same oven that I cook in. I've made people get their pennies in a bunch because I put my tumbler in with some baked potatoes. I put my tumbler in with some pizza. I put it in with my mac and cheese and took a picture just to F with people because I know that it's not harmful at all. And especially with using this paper because it does not bleed through the back. All right. So as I cut this down, we're going to talk about what the requirements are for substrates. For shirts, polyester must be present or a synthetic fiber. Okay, there's a couple different types of synthetic fibers. We do go over all of those synthetic fibers in our sublimation seminar, but the most popular one is polyester. Okay, and polyester can be just regular polyester. Satin is polyester. Most microfibers are also polyester. So it has to have some form of polyester. The more, the better. But even at 100% polyester, there's some polyester that's very, very thin. It's woven loosely. So you're not going to get you're not going to get a high saturation of color because those fibers of that polyester, even though it's 100%, they're loosely woven together. And that's kind of creating a lot of gaps, even in shirts. So you want to get good quality, smooth. I like smooth, flat. I'm more of a semi-gloss type shirt. I don't like the super, super glossy ones unless it's something for uniforms for like football, dance, cheer. This is a super, super shiny one, but you have some that is semi-gloss. This shirt, this is a Sports Tech shirt. Sports Tech and Team 365 are my favorites. And they're more of like a semi-gloss. I personally don't really care for the cotton-like shirts. I only use those for kid shirts because that's really the only way that Vapor and the other one comes. But I'm just not really big on the cotton-like ones, but you can use them, okay? But you need some sort of polyester fabric. So for this mouse pad, the back is neoprene. It is not able to be sublimated. So somebody's like, oh, you're sublimating the neoprene. No, you're not. This is just a backing. They have glued polyester fabric. This is just a polyester fabric with some really great glue underneath it. So this is no different than sublimating a shirt, which is why the temps and time will be the exact same for a shirt. The only thing that will change for this is the thickness or the pressure on your heat press because it is thicker than a shirt. That is the only thing that changes is going to be your pressure, but this is fabric. So this will sublimate the same way that my shirt did, okay? So I'm going to move you guys closer. I'm going to cut off a piece of my butcher, actually not even my butcher paper. I don't really like butcher paper. I am definitely more of a parchment paper kind of gal. I will show. I can't with these because it's too high, but butcher paper is porous. I'm a scientist, guys. So learning from me, I apply a lot of science. I talk about a lot of science because I'm a science geek, okay? And butcher paper is very porous. So because it turns into a gas, it can actually move through that butcher paper. A lot of people think that it is a full-on protection. It is not at all. So I'm pretty sure some of you guys have put butcher paper in between a shirt and the color still went through because it is porous, whereas parchment paper is not. It is solid. So I prefer to use parchment paper, okay? Now, although we won't need to put anything on top because it does not bleed, I do have to protect my bottom platen. So this is your bottom platen on any heat press. This is your top platen. This right here is a Hotronics Fusion IQ from Stalls. It's a $2,000+ printer, but it is a hybrid. It's a swing away, but you also have a pull-out tray as well, pull-out platen. And these platens are interchangeable. So I'm going to bring you guys a little bit closer here. Tilt y'all down some. There we go. So we're going to put this down to protect the bottom platen. When you're switching out substrates, if it's not the exact same one that you used before, you want to pre-press it, not really to pull out the moisture. That's actually a myth too. A lot of people think that you have to pull out the moisture and you really, really don't. But I like to pre-press or really just pressing it to check my pressure. See this? I can't close it. That's way too much pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this. And with this heat press, the platen rises up. So you're turning here and it just raises just this part up. So I'm going to go ahead. Still too much. I'm at a 1. I literally like to be at a 0. I like this one because it gives you a readout and you can tell. So I normally get to a 0 and then I kind of dial it up just a little bit from there. Because remember, you do not need heavy pressure. You just need something that has even pressure. Even pressure and heavy pressure are two different things. So I was at a 0. I'm going to pull that back. So now when I do the next mouse pad, I don't have to worry about that. This is hot. I don't want this to start sublimating when I put the paper down because our paper will start to sublimate, even though it's not like fully hot. I have done shirts. If you're new here, I have done demonstrations. We have done shirts at 325 degrees. If you were here when I did the shirt at 325 degrees, say I was there, okay? But we did it at 325 degrees. Now, it did take 60 seconds because it's a lower temperature. So with using a lower temperature, you have to do it for a longer time, but you never have to use 400 degrees again when using this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I could use, okay, it's newbies here. So I guess I'll use some heat tape. I normally don't. Actually, for this one, I'm not going to use heat tape because this has a bleed. If you are doing a full, you want it to go edge to edge. When you are designing, whether it's Canva, Silhouette Studio, Photoshop, Affinity, whoever, you want to put a bleed. So a bleed is basically just an offset that goes around it. If you don't know how to apply it with your program, there is a setting for some programs, like for a print bleed, like you just click it and it'll give you a print bleed. And it will just extend the color, especially if it's a solid color. But you want to have extra around the edge. That's the only way to ensure that your color is going to go edge to edge. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I like to just check it and just make sure that it's still edge to edge. I don't really need to use any heat tape because I want you guys to see that it's not going to move. I'm not going to get ghosting. We're going to go ahead and close that. You want to be confident when you put it down, okay? You want to be confident when you put it down because the paper will start to sublimate. So if you're kind of going down slow, you can make it move. You can, if you lift it back up, it's already starting to sublimate. If it moved, that's where you get ghosting. So we're just going to take this. We're not going to go slow. We're just going to go ahead and close that sucker down. Okay. It moved. I could have went down a little bit more under pressure, but so it's at 0. It's at 0, 0. So that will let you see how well this works because I literally have, according to this, no pressure. Now, this doesn't move, so it is even pressure, but this says 0. So it's not a whole lot, and you're going to see how that color comes out, okay? So this heat press is a Hotronics Fusion IQ. Someone says, I was there. I like parchment paper too. Hello again, everyone. I was already on. I just switched from my computer to the phone. Hello. You can definitely tell the difference. Okay. So, we're going to move that out of the way. Let's check it. Make sure. Oh, wait. Hold on. What happened here? Okay. I will say, I had a little bit of a boo-boo. Oh, you know what? That's the wrong one. I'm going to do it again. Hold on. Makai Jeremiah, can you bring me the print off of the printer? It's been there for a while. This is the wrong one. I'm going to do it again. Because I screwed up. The top is good, but the bottom is not. But, oh, see, it looks right to you guys, but it's actually backwards. So if I flip mine, it should, see how my shirt is reading backwards for you guys, and this is reading correctly. It's because I forgot to mirror this, and shoot. You see this spot right here? This got wet, and I realized, I was like, oh yeah, this is the wrong one. It got wet. So this was the wrong one. And I was like, and I looked, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And so you can see the top transferred, but the bottom did not because this did have some moisture in it. The paper did. It actually got wet because I had my wet hands. And so you can see that little mark there and there. So the bottom part was a little bit off. So the top, you can see, look at how well that sublimated, but it is a little bit off on the bottom because of the moisture.
You're not Kendrick.
What?
You're not Kendrick.
Oh, my son says I'm not Kendrick because it says they not like HS Ink.
You're not Kendrick. Stop.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna print another one because. All right, hold on. Look, I'm gonna give you this paper. Put it in the printer. I'm gonna send it to print. I'm gonna need you to come back because I think it's actually something on the paper because that has the same mark. I thought it came from me, but that literally has the same mark. So I'm gonna open up a new pack of paper. Huh? I know. Okay, look, son. Take this. This is the print side. So hold it. Give me your hand. Okay. The print side is now facing you. When you put it in the printer, this part goes flat in the printer. The side that's facing you, so it'll go in the printer just like this. This part right here, the part that's away from you, should be facing up.
So this goes smoother.
Huh?
So when I smooth it goes up.
Oh, you can feel it. Yes. See? I told you can tell. The side that's smoother goes up and the rough side goes down. Good job. Okay, look at that. I'm so glad you felt that.
Get out.
Okay, so I'm gonna send it to print again. Go put that in there, please. No, just put it in there and just close it. I'm gonna wait so I think he's over there so I can, because if it's not in there, then he's not gonna know what to do to hit okay. So I'll just wait. But yeah, so it wasn't my hands. I'm not sure if you guys can see. I saw this on the other one. You see right here? So I think that just may have been that paper because it is kind of curved. But you see right there? So that moisture, it looks almost like the same pattern. Can y'all see that right there? So that's why it did not fully transfer at the bottom. So there must have been something on that paper that's where the printer is. So like all right there. So it did not fully transfer. So we're going to get the other one for that to transfer. But what I will do is the top one while waiting for him to come back with the other black one. But this is why we want to put the parchment paper or some type of protective paper down so that it catches that extra ink. And although it did not fully transfer, I do want you to see, oh yeah, because you can see from the back side, you see that moisture, you see the ripples. So you want to make sure that you do avoid humidity and water, like any moisture, but you can see from the back where you see that moisture, right? Now there's light shining through, but you don't.
Top one? So I put on the top one.
Yes. You put it in already?
I mean, yeah, but like it says like what print size?
No, just leave it. It's fine.
Okay.
But just go in about 5 minutes.
And not supposed to go all the way in, right?
No, it's not supposed to go all the way in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is because of the light, but if I'm holding it here, you don't see anything. See the top fully transferred. You don't see anything through the paper. Okay. So I'm going to do the white one because it's not going to have that issue because I don't see any. Well, it's white, so I can't tell. So hopefully it doesn't have that issue. So I'm going to put this same one down. Actually, I'm going to tape this one because I don't want the gray part. So we're going to tape this one. Put it right there in the middle. And so someone asked the differences in the tape. Something like this, because it is so thick, if you use the MJ, you didn't close it all the way. It's not supposed to close. And then when you do it, hit OK. Okay, so you do need the at least the 1-inch tape because this is thicker. All right, so I'm gonna hold that, flip this over. Okay, I'm gonna add just a little bit more pressure because I want it to be at 1. Okay, there we go. We're at 1. All right, so while we're doing that, that's going for 30 seconds. We're going to answer another question. That has happened on too many occasions. How do you keep the lines out of your shirts after you press it? We're going to actually go over that in tomorrow's live. White, black, incredible evening. What happens when you over sublimate? Your colors start to dull out. So they won't be as vibrant. They will definitely start to look a little bit duller. And certain colors, it will change. Like blacks will change to browns. Oh, this actually do see it. There is moisture on this one too. Yeah, there was moisture on this one too. So that was actually around the edges. So I don't know what happened with this paper. And as soon as I lift it up, I can see where it created the moisture lines. Y'all can see the ripples. So there was some moisture in this paper also. I thought it was me, but look at the color on the bottom. 30 seconds where we didn't have that moisture. Look at the color. Up here, there was moisture on the paper. So it was around the edges of that paper. But outside of that, those colors are absolutely gorgeous. All right. Okay. So for hard substrates, this is an MDF board. Okay. I also have a magnet here that has like this little sparkly thing to it. And then also tumblers. For hard substrates, they have to be coated in, which I need to back up because I'm all in Facebook and YouTube's face. They have to be coated in a polyester coating. It's normally professionally done. It's a poly coating. If it is not coated, the ink will transfer, but it will be very, very light. So every single substrate, because you can have mugs that are uncoated and that are coated, but you wouldn't be able to tell by the naked eye. I think I saw someone ask the question, how would I know if my tumblers are sublimation like ready? There's no way to tell from the naked eye. You will not know until you try to go and sublimate it, because they are actually made the exact same way. Sublimation tumblers start off as just regular tumblers that you would use for alcohol, inks, glitter, rhinestones, things of that nature. They start the exact same way. But the last process, they put a coating over it, and then they cure that coating to it, and that is what takes the sublimation ink. So to answer your question, there is no way to know if it is sublimation just by looking at it. You want to order from a reputable source like the Blank Spot. You want to look for places that it says sublimation in the title. Do not go, if you're going to go to A to Z app, don't look for the one that says A to Z choice. That most times is not like always sublimation. It needs to say it in the title and the description. Okay. But these have to be coded for sublimation. All right. So now that we know for these, they have to be coated. I have another black print, and you have to mirror it, because when you put it down, it transfers. So your prints have to be mirrored. I'm going to cut this little piece off. I'm going to make sure I cut it this way. I'm going to still cut off the edges to make sure that I don't have any white. Although, because it's not getting on here, if there is any black ink on this or any ink around the edges, it will get on the top platen. And then if I have something that's not covered, because we don't use cover paper, it will then get on your shirt or get on whatever that item is. So I'm going to fold this. I don't have to get a new one. I'm going to take this, place it in the middle, and we're going to put a little couple pieces. Oh, first, let's check the pressure. Remember, this is a different substrate, so we do have to check the pressure on this. Okay, so that's at 0. We're going to turn this to get to 1. I want it right as it turns to 1. And so the fact that I can turn my knob lets me know that it was not even pressure. Okay, so now that I can't turn anymore, that should be good. I'm going to use a different one, since that one is kind of hot. We're going to place this on here and tape it down. Turn it over, press it for 30 seconds, and we should not have any issues. Well, actually, that's the same paper that was. So hopefully we don't have any moisture issues. I'm going to definitely reprint all of these, the extras I have over here for tomorrow. I'm going to reprint those, because obviously that was some paper that some moisture got to. Only the paper is on sale tonight. Tomorrow there will be ink. But tonight you have that extra $5. Okay, he's doing something wrong because it's not printing. I'm gonna have to go over there. Okay, now this one is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, why am I gonna turn it that way? Y'all can't, the camera's over here. I'm turned it to that camera. But look at that. You can see that ink release. 30 seconds, same temp, same time, 30 seconds. That's how it came out.
I was trying to think, keep on jamming or something.
Okay, I'm gonna go over there in a second.
Because like every time I click OK, it go like, and like, here we get like all thin.
Oh, that means you didn't pull it out then. Okay, never mind. I'll go over there. But see that? 30 seconds. Whew. This on black isn't the best move, because it actually becomes, that black becomes black, and it actually is a little bit too dark. And I officially know that I do not like the magnets. I don't like the substrates where the magnet, oh, well, actually, no, it went back. So if you get the substrate where the magnet is attached to the back, when you heat it up, it's going to separate. As it's cooling down, it's attaching back. So don't be alarmed, because I was like, I don't like this. I normally get the ones where the magnet is separate. but it went back tight. So there's that one. 30 seconds, okay? Now, I just tripped my ceramic, chipped it. We're gonna do, someone asked earlier about a pillowcase. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna trim it down. As always, we're going to trim it. Trim down all sides. Now, I don't do the whole ting, 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 ting. I don't do that. I just trim it. I like to keep it in a square because this helps you with lining it up. When you do all those weird cuts, your eyes can play tricks on you and you don't know if it's straight. So I like to try and keep my lines as straight as possible. When doing something like a pillowcase, the zippers part is thick. If you're doing a full coverage, you will need a pressing pillow. I wasn't going through all that for this, so we're just going to do a design in the middle. Actually, I can show you guys too, because someone asked, what do you do about the lines? We're going to get the lines of demarcation. So that's what they're called, when you're getting the lines of the paper. There's really no such thing as paper thin when it comes to sublimation, because these are almost like memory foam type material. It's polyester. Did y'all know that polyester is nothing but processed plastic? It's a synthetic fiber. It's man-made. So they go and they melt it down. They're stretching it to basically make it like a thread. But polyester is nothing more than recycled plastic. So when you go and you're pressing something to it, paper thin is not really paper thin, especially with the paper that you have to use with these desktop printers. There are a bunch of different sizes or thicknesses of paper, all the way down to 100 GSM. Ideally, for the desktop printers like Epson's, you want to use a 120, so it's a little bit thicker paper. The thinner papers, they get jammed in the printers because it's too thin. They are better for printers that are roll to roll. So a lot of like the big industrial ones, they will use the thinner paper because you won't really see it on the shirts if you have to do like in the middle because it's really thin. But also with those, even if it's like, let's say if it's like a center print shirt, a lot of times they will have that whole like size of the shirt and just have the print in the middle. And even though there's no color, they're still going to press it to ensure that you don't get any lines. So that's a little bit different. That's why it's like it differs when it comes to the craft world and using a smaller printer and smaller heat press. In the commercial world, they're not trimming down paper. They're going to have that template. They're going to put that design in the middle. They're going to print that whole thing out. And yes, that can be considered wasted paper, but how they're pricing it, it's accounted for. But that is the best way to make sure that you do it in one press and you don't have to do multiple presses, okay? Because this is in the middle, we don't need not one piece of butcher paper because this is not going to be a full bleed, all right? So I'm going to put this to where my zipper hangs off of my heat press. This is a 15 by 15 pillow. I have a 16 by 20 heat press. So I'll be able to press this all at one time. If you are using a 15 by 15, you may have to press it in sections. So you may want, well, not may, you do want to tape it down, or you want to use tacky sublimation paper if you have to move it. So I am going to press this. Again, I have to check my pressure because the last thing that I printed or pressed, it was thinner than this. So we are going to pull this around, and that I barely pull that down. I want to turn that a little bit more, but we want to avoid heavy pressure. When you use heavy pressure, especially when something has a seam, you're not going, it's going to push it down, like the middle part down too much, and the top will curve, and you're not going to get even pressure. So we don't want heavy pressure when we're doing sublimation. Okay, that was good with me pulling it down. It wasn't too easy, but it also wasn't hard. Okay, so we're going to take this, put it down. I'm not going to use any tape, nothing. So with this process, I am instantly saving money. No butcher paper, no tape. All we have is the substrate and the sublimation paper. We're not changing anything. 365, 30 seconds. Okay, let's see. She says you're not going to have any fingerprints. Where do you purchase your Sublimation substrate pack you are using? A to Z. A to Z. I can't really say it because I'm on the TikTok app, but A to Z. You should know what that one means. She says, I know she says, don't overheat, professor. She was like, look at him advertising. I didn't realize it. Oh, MJ, yeah. All right. So nothing on it whatsoever. Look at that. Okay. And look at that. 365, 30 seconds, no tape, no butcher paper, just the substrate and the sublimation paper. So now, if you can see, there is a line of demarcation, and I only had this at a 1. So people be like, oh, to avoid the line, don't use a lot of pressure. That don't work because this is plastic. It's like memory foam. It is going to take on that indentation. You cannot avoid it if you're putting the paper down directly on it, okay? So, but you guys see that, right? Y'all can see that line of demarcation on it right there. Make sure that TikTok can see it. So even with my shirts, how I get rid of that, we're going to put that back on there. This is where, even though I did not use parchment paper, we still want to keep it on hand. I like parchment paper for this. I don't like using I like butcher paper. I don't like using a good parchment paper for this. I like using butcher paper. So we're going to put this over the top. Oh, let me show you. Because I'm pretty sure this question will come up as well. Hey, you didn't put anything on the inside. Won't it go through? Absolutely not. There is nothing on the other side. When you're using quality, now this is a good thick. Now, if you're using something like a Dollar Tree pillowcase, you will need to put something inside because it is porous. Remember, we talked about this being porous? It is porous. It is made of really thin fibers that are spread out. So something like a Dollar Tree pillowcase, you would need to put something between it. But good quality ones, you do not. It did not go through. Because I'm pretty sure someone's going to say that. Hey, you didn't put anything on the inside. We save you time and money. We're going to get it in and out, in and out, in and out. All the extra steps we don't need. So we are going to use a piece of butcher paper for this step because this is now exposed. Once the heat hits it, it will start to sublimate again. So we have to cover this up. And when you cover it up, you want to make sure that it is fully covered. You do not want to introduce any new lines because now we're about to use a whole lot of pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this bad boy up. Now, if I'm doing shirts, I don't do this one by one and keep doing that because that's just a lot of strain on your wrist. So I normally press all of my shirts, put them to the side, and then at the end, I turn the pressure up and I go ahead, use the butcher paper, and I will knock that line of demarcation out. So you don't have to do it as soon as you press it. They can be cool. I've had shirts that sat in the closet and I come back and I'm able to still knock that line out by applying heavy pressure to it. Okay, so we're going to go here. I'm going to close that. Too much pressure, but it's okay. 10 to 12 seconds is what you will need to press this for to get that line of demarcation out. So this is what I was saying. A lot of the bigger companies like industrials, they don't have time for this. This is a crafter hack. They don't have time for this, okay? They're not, left on for too long. They're not trying to do a double press, okay? Your ink will transfer to here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. The ink did transfer to the butcher paper. But you know where it did not transfer at? We don't lose quality here. This is just as bright, just as vibrant when we press it the first time because of the way that that ink transfers. And we still don't have anything on the inside. Okay? So that's not going to, some people will say, oh, it transfers because you're using too heavy of a pressure. Well, we just used max pressure and it still didn't transfer. It has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is you over sublimating. So a lot of those papers, it needs the 400 degrees for 30 seconds, for 60 seconds, but it's also starting an over sublimation process where the ink has nowhere else to go. To come off that paper, it needs more time, but the substrate is saying, I can't take no more. I don't know where you want me to go. So I'm going to just go ahead and slide through the back. That's what happens. And that's why you're seeing that is because you are over sublimating at 400 degrees, 60 seconds, and you're applying a lot of pressure. Okay. So look at those colors. They not like us. I'm telling y'all better switch over papers because they not like us. All right. And if I show you now, that line of demarcation is, see, it's gone. So the person that asks, how do I get the line out? This is what I do, even on my shirts. But I'm going to do a shirt tomorrow. So you can see here, that line of demarcation is gone. This is the best method to make sure that you do not see a line. Okay? Y'all like that hack? Because y'all like the word hack. Y'all like that? Where do you order? The link is in the description. I'm actually going to put it. I don't know why I didn't have it going across the bottom of the screen. Lord Jesus, hold on. Lord Jesus, where is it? Okay, there we go. Shop.hsink365.com. That's where you're going to order right now. Now it's gonna reactivate, but if you're doing it during the live video, we got about 30 minutes left on that. All paper sizes. Our paper comes in 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 13 by 19, 11 by 17. The next one I see 11 by 17 before, but hold on, which one is this? So 8.5 by 11, 1563. Today, well, right now, and then tomorrow. 8.5 by 14. Some of you guys avoid this paper when you have like the 2800, 47, all that. You do know all Epson printers print up to 47 inches long. We have fast dry rolls. They're not on sale, but we do have fast dry rolls. You can use the roll paper and cut it down to the size that you need up to 47 inches long. So those printers don't just take 8.5 by 11 inch paper. You can use 8.5 by 14 inch paper, okay? And you can use the rolls. So 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, 1563. If you spend $45 or more, whether you're getting paper or combining it with paper and a class, you spend $45 or more, you're going to get an additional $5 off while we are on live, okay? But also, make sure that you check your emails. First thing in the morning, check your emails first thing in the morning, okay? Oh, I forgot to put that on there for you guys. Oh, shoot. I can't change it. If you go back to our website once I'm done and get on the email list, you're gonna get an email, okay? I completely forgot to put the email link, but I made a post about it. I forgot to put the email link on this video. Let's see. Oh, nice. I'm always thinking like, dang, I need to use all this paper in between, but I don't now. Nope. Now, if you get this paper, place my order. Awesome. Look at those colors. I tried to do the 45 or more before tax and ship. It wasn't doing. So let me see. Have you already checked out? It has to be before taxes. It's automatic. Make sure that you're looking at it. You should see it on there. It is automatic. It was until 10. Let me make sure it's still set. Because at first it was only until 9, but I started late. Let me make sure that it's not on my end. Let me go to discounts. Nope, it still says active. It definitely still says active. Yep, it's there. You just have to spend a minimum purchase of $45 before taxes and shipping. And it says active. Now, if you combine it with, like someone used, you can't combine discount codes. No code is needed. So somebody used the grad season one. You actually got less. You could have gotten $5. If you would have just left that grad season off, you would have got an extra $5 off. So it only gave you $3.75 off because you added that code to whoever that was. But if you would have left it, you would have got a full $5 off because your order was higher than $45. Let's see. Somebody else was here and somebody else that used the grad season one. Or oh, wait, you know what? I'm sorry. No, it might be me. Is that still active? Hold on. Because too many people have the grad season one. Maybe that's what it is. Hold on. Is that one taking precedence? Hold on. It is. Oops. That one, I didn't realize that grad season was still active. So it kind of gave all of you guys that one. Let's deactivate that. Thank you for saying that. Nobody else said anything, but thank you for pointing that out. So it should be on there now because there should be no active. This is why I love Shopify. This is why I'm a Shopify partner. I love Shopify. Let's see. Making sure there's nothing else that's going to interfere with it. It shouldn't. Yeah, because those are not automatic codes. Okay. It should be correct now. For the 8.5 of what is your question? Let me see if I'm missing something. I love the hack. All paper right now is $15.63. All paper is $15.63 right now. Every single size. That's our INKiversary. Tomorrow is, we launched our paper 4 years ago tomorrow. Try it now because there was I'm going to actually, you know what I can do? Let me go on here. Let me make sure, cancel. I'm going to go to an incognito. And we're going to go hsink365.com. All right. We're going to go to the paper. And I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, and check out. Let me log in. And let's see. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. I do see it's not coming up. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Discounts. Today is the 27th. Entire order, minimum purchase, all customers, minimum purchase, $45 applies to all products. Fixed amount, $5. Only one use per customers, can't be combined. Active today. What the heck is it doing? Okay. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, active. I'm gonna go through a bunch of these and I don't understand why it's not working because I normally don't do a lot of automatic codes. All right, we know what? We'll do this. Since it's acting crazy, I'll make one that says early bird. I'm going to make another one right now that says, and just put in early bird. And hold on, give me a second because I don't know why it's not working. Let me go to this incognito one. Let me refresh. Yeah, that's over 45. Interesting. All right. Like I said, I'm going to go on now and I'm going to make it where the code is, and I'll fix the one for tomorrow. Amount off order, discount code. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay. Never mind. That was my bad. Amount off order, discount title. That's what happened. You actually had to put in early bird. So I'm going to put in early bird live. Okay. Haha, that was me. That was my fault. That one you had to put in one. So fixed amount, 5, and minimum amount, 45. Love Shopify. This is why I love Shopify. 10 o'clock. Save. Okay, now let me go to my incognito tab. I'm going to refresh. And $5 off. Boom. It's on there now. That was my fault. So I did it. Okay. If no, you don't have to reorder. So if I go on there, when I go on there tonight, if I saw that your order was over $5, give me at least until like Friday. We will issue you a credit. Okay. We will issue you a credit for the difference and you can come back and get some more stuff. All right. Code still isn't showing. All right. I just fixed it. I was warning about this yesterday. This question was asked in a Facebook group. Good information. Yes, I love it. Oh, 1 second. I want to be able to do that mouse pad. So let me go fix the printer. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, in 5 minutes, go get my print. You had pushed the paper up too far. He had pushed the paper up too far in the tray. So it was like all bunching up at the top. Okay. Hello, this is your first time here. Welcome. Hopefully it won't be your last. All right, let me go back through some of these questions that were posted while I'm waiting for that to print out. Yeah, grass season pop up automatically. I'll issue credits for those. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know if he will. When he brings the paper in, I'll tell him. Let's see. The Prime app. She said, what's the A to Z? Prime. It will be 1563 tomorrow as well. Let's see. Okay, I've never used your ink, but I would like to. I still have a lot of ink in my printer from A to Z before I found you, but I love your paper. Awesome. Yeah, because when you're using the EcoTank printers, it takes a long time for that ink to go out. So we know like ink is one thing that we like, the frequency of repurchasing it is not that high. Like some people have gotten ink from us because you do not print. We do not print using premium presentation paper matte. This is printed. I use Silhouette Studio. This was printed using the plain paper, bright white, set to the highest possible quality. That's what these were printed with. So when you're using that, it prints out a lot faster and you're not using so much ink. And our ink bottles are 140 milliliters. Most times we don't get people coming back for ink, depending on like how much they print, 6 months to a year. So this one, you know, we have repeat customers, but they don't have to come back as much. You don't have to like double up and get a whole bunch of like bottles of it because this lasts a really long time, especially if you have the EcoTank printer and you just kind of print moderately. Now, if you do a lot of printing, you may go through more than one in a year, but most people it's like anywhere from 6 months to a year before they have to re-up when they're using the EcoTank printers because we use plain paper, bright white. And it takes a long time for this ink to dissipate, okay? So some questions here. What are good settings on Epson 15,000 with our ink? So it's not necessarily the ink, it's about the paper. So we do have a video that shows what to put on there. So we have a full video. We'll send that out to you, but it's also on the cover sheet. Like our cover sheet literally has that on there. It says printing, rough size, no settings. Epson, plain paper, bright white. Set it to your quality to the highest setting. So if it's high on yours, or there's one that says like more settings, so you set it to the highest quality. I use, for the most part, when I'm designing, I use Adobe RGB Gamma 1.8. If it is something that you're bringing into Silhouette Studio, like it's like a pre-made PNG, JPEG, something like that, you can use automatic. You don't have to use you don't have to use Adobe RGB because sometimes that can, like, it can give you too much magenta. But normally when I'm designing, these were printed with Adobe RGB Gamma 1.8. But there are times where I'm using just automatic. I normally test mine and I print out small prints and put it on like scrap ones just to see which color is going to be best. A lot of the times when I'm doing like something has like a lot of white, like clothes, I like to use ICM because it doesn't put as much magenta on it. Magenta is a very aggressive color in sublimation. So yeah, it literally tells you right here, you want your high speed. I'm gonna tell you, it really doesn't matter. The only thing that's not on here, I don't think, is quiet mode. Yeah, so you want thick paper and envelope, but what's missing off of here is quiet mode. That's the key, is that quiet mode. You want to turn that off on your on your printer and on your settings, but mainly your settings. But yes, we have a video that goes over all of our settings, but plain paper, bright white is what we use to print that setting, okay? For like no matter which printer it is, except of course the the F570, F170, they have different settings, but you want to use the lowest possible ink settings. Yeah, this is one that, so this is mirrored. To you, is showing correctly because you're viewing it mirrored. That's like, see, if you look at my shirt, but this is technically mirrored. This is mirrored. The first time it wasn't mirrored. Okay, I was there. Let's see. Which ink do you use? So all of our inks are keyed technically for eco tanks. We sell 20 milliliter and 30 milliliter syringes. You just get those and then you're going to fill the cartridges. We do not sell the cartridges and chips for that printer anymore, so you won't be able to get that from us, but you can utilize our ink. Go get it, Papa. Oh, there you go.
Wait, I wonder.
Okay, let me see.
It's in our question. This is I know it's like this, but this is backwards. And
yeah.
Will it be straight to the camera?
Yes.
Oh, and not really.
Okay, look, they asked, can you step in the camera? They haven't seen y'all.
Hello.
Hi. Your face is all up there. On that one, you got to come like this. Yes, back up. It's not close on that one, but this camera, see there? Your face is. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Good night. Goodbye. Give me my paper. Thank you. Stop touching stuff. What? Go. Zaddy Money. Go.
Come on.
Boy. Oh, good question. Do you press your slates paper side up or the bottom plate? Paper side. Paper side. And glass. Paper side is where I always press it. That was a good question. Let's see. What size tape for the tumbler? That was the other one. So what I use for tumblers, I use 5 pieces of 1-inch tape. 5 pieces of 1-inch tape. I have tons of videos showing the process. I use painter's tape and the 2-inch tape. So this is what I use for tumblers. 5 pieces of 1-inch tape on the seam. Then I tape the seam. I used to have one in here that was pre-taped to always show it. Then I tape the seam, I tape the ends, and then I go over it because you can't put this on the tumbler. So I have to take this one and put it over the edges to seal it in because I use an oven. I use a regular schmegular oven. And the thickness in the tape depends on the substrate. Also, I like to use the thick ones. I'm not sure if any of you guys use Jet Pro 3G or the printable transfers. They don't come with a transfer. So you can actually use the heat tape. So when I'm using the thicker ones, I don't have to put so many strips. So I've used that to create a transfer tape for Jet Pro 3G, and it doesn't lift off the colors like some of the other transfer tape. If you're doing really big projects, I know like Eric and them from the Blank Spot, when they're doing their big banners and stuff, they like to take the big wide heat tape and go across to make sure that it doesn't move because it's so big. So anything that is big, that has thickness to it, you want to use a thicker heat tape. Some people use the wider heat tape for their tumblers, like if they want to fully wrap theirs with the heat tape because it is wider. So there's a lot of different uses for the heat tape. Let's see, did I miss anything else? I use a sub and I had to press for 7 minutes. 2 minutes for the slate. 2 minutes. That's it. That's the kit that I had. I was telling you about. Okay. Hey Hans, thank you. I know I had some other ones. Shirt material, preferably a high grade of polyester, but you can use 65%. It's just that all the color. In our sublimation seminar, we literally break all of that down. Do you think the tumblers come out better in an oven or a tumbler press? Okay, that's what it was. Somebody was asking about tumbler presses. So if you're going to use a tumbler press for any press, even technically for this one, when you get to the edges for a lot of the heat presses, well, the edge of the platen, it doesn't get as hot. And on tumbler presses, it doesn't give you as much pressure when it comes to those. So you have to press it. You have to rotate it because there's always going to be a gap at the top. So you have to press it, rotate it, press it again to make sure the main part of it gets the heat and the pressure. Then you have to take that heat press. You have to take that tumbler out. And if this is the heat press, you're going to put it like to where this is like the middle. You're going to press just the ends for only 10 seconds, rotate it, press it for 10 seconds, go to this side, press it, and press it. For that reason, I don't do tumbler presses because ain't nobody got time for that. I put it in the oven, I set it and forget it. I do tumblers in our oven at 365 for 4 minutes. 365 for sometimes 3 minutes, depending on the color. But I like to kind of be on the safe side, so I'll do 4 minutes. And I can do up to 15, 20 tumblers inside of our big, big oven. Okay? So you can see those colors on that. And then here is the seam. With the method that I use, here is my seam. So me personally, I prefer an oven. I don't have time for all that. I ain't got time for all that. Okay, sometimes I have a blue overspray. It's probably because it's one of two things. You are either using plain paper, but you have it set to standard or normal, and you don't have it set to high. So it's moving too fast, and on sublimation paper, because it's not meant to soak it up, it's kind of like, it's like rain and wind. So it's just brushing it everywhere. So that's probably why you have that. The other thing will be depending on the paper you are using, if you're using too much ink and you're using premium presentation paper matte or premium matte, and it's putting down too much ink and that paper cannot handle that much ink, that can also be a cause. You got to find that sweet spot in your settings, okay? If you don't have a large press, how do you do big shirts? I use tacky paper. So some people will use a Yucca board, or it's called a hard board. I don't use that. Let me tell you why I don't recommend using a hard board. You see this platen? It's what? It's soft, right? We can agree. Like, y'all had a heat press. You press down on your platen, the silicone padding on it. It's soft, right? Want to make sure we're on the same page. Want to hear it in the comments. This is soft, correct? This helps your pressure, correct? You do know that this softness is what's helping your pressure. When you put that hardboard, you are now turning that from a soft surface that's going to help with pressure and absorb some of those thicker, like heavier spots. And now you're making it stiff and rigid. It's not the best way to do it. Okay? Because you're going from a soft surface to a hard surface. Some people will use it. They will say they have great results. Now, I don't know what that percentage is of good results and ones I'm messing up. So if you watch any of my videos, I never, ever, ever use a hardboard. I use a hardboard to tape it because my surface may not be big enough. So when I'm laying it out and I'm taping it, I'll use that. But I never use a hardboard. What I like to use is tacky paper so that when I press it, it's stuck. I can move it around and it never moves. Mine hangs off and I press it. That's how this was done. Where's that all over shirt? Where'd it go? Oh, right here. I did not use a hardboard for this. Now, I did forget to put my pressing pillow. So, because the pressure from here, but I can thread, but we can't thread like the all over. But I forgot to put a pressing pillow underneath the neck to absorb that, because now it's like it's a difference in pressure because of the collar on the back. So that is why this came out like this. I don't know how I forgot that, but I don't use a Yucca board. I just use the tacky paper and I press it in sections and it sticks and I'm able to move it. If you don't have tacky paper, that is where those thicker pieces of thicker widths of heat tape come in at, because you want to tape it down along that edge. You want to tape it down really, really good. You want to take that thick tape and go across the paper so that it's like making it where it doesn't move or shift any, because you're creating like not like a bridge, but you're just putting those pressure points. So you'll go all like literally on your paper, tape that paper down to that coverage, like the protective paper. So you want to use like craft paper. You can tape several pieces of parchment paper together, but you want to tape that sublimation paper down to it around the whole entire perimeter, and then take strips and go over it to make sure that it doesn't move as you're moving it around your heat press. So that's how you would do the bigger shirts. If you have seams, it's probably because of how you're cutting it. So I'm not sure if you're still on, Nelly, but when my recommendation is to use a ruler. MJ took my ruler. Use a ruler that has a cork backing. That's going to keep it from sliding. But if you have the ones that's just metal or just plastic, it will slide around. So the best thing to get is a ruler with corking on the back. If your ruler does not have corking, you can always buy it. Dollar Tree sells a self-adhesive cork backing, and you can use that, okay? And so when you're cutting and you're trimming, I use a ruler and a straight blade. You want to make sure that you see some of the color. This is why you have to design your tumbler template a little bit bigger, not just for the overlap, but so that when you're trimming it down, you're able to trim it and kind of go into the color to make sure that you don't have white. But you need to have that overlap to avoid the line. You do not want it. Oh, the other thing, let me see, with our paper, when it comes to tumblers, I got to find one. I had one. Which one has it? It doesn't bleed through. So some of you guys may have done tumblers, and when you do that overlap, the ink transfers to the other side. With our paper, it doesn't do that. It will never transfer because our paper works one way. So it does not bleed through. I thought I had one. I'll make sure I have it tomorrow of a tumbler printout, and you can see where it doesn't bleed through. But you always should have overlap, okay? All right, so I answered that one. I think that was it. And also when I'm doing tumblers, I only trim down one side. That is to me, that is the biggest key to it. I only trim down the one side. I don't trim around the whole thing, because if it's off, and you won't be able to really do it. If you haven't seen my video, check it out. Tomorrow I will try to do one, but I don't really like the oven that we have here. But I'll try to do one. But I only trim down one side, and then I go in, I put my 5 pieces of tape, I trim down the tops and bottoms after it is on the tumbler. But I do not recommend trimming around the entire thing when you go to wrap your tumbler. So that should help you as well. So this material is a 100% polyester shirt. This is 100% polyester. This is Sports Tech. Yes, even for a convection oven. So a convection oven just has air circulating. If you're using a smaller oven, you want to use the convection setting, because that's going to keep the air circulating. Your tumbler is going to be really, really close to that heating element, okay? And because it's so close to the heating element, it can easily burn. But with that convection setting, it's actually, dispersing the heat a little bit better, and it's not going to burn. Hopefully, preferably you can stand it up. If you stand it up, you don't have to really rotate it. If you're laying it down, you want to rotate it because it's too close to the heating element. But even in a convection oven, I do 365 for about 4 minutes. Yes, the settings are on the package. It should be automatic. The discount is now automatic. I fixed it. Would you recommend to order ink even though I still have a lot? Which one of the inks can be used? So all of our inks are the same. The only ink, we don't have any more of we don't have a full set of our signature, but I've been using the Formula B, and on my, what these were printed out with was Formula B on my Epson Workforce printer. So they still work, but they're all the same. So the ink that's at the top is the ink that you will order. I don't know how much you have. We'll have ink, so you don't have to. We don't run as many sales. I mean, if you want to get it at the discounted price, you can. But yeah, that's up to you whether or not you get it or not. I can't tell you. But the ink has a shelf. It doesn't really have. People always say it's a shelf life. It really doesn't. As long as you're not exposing it to a lot of light and sun, it's gonna work. It doesn't really affect it. It's close, so it's not gonna dry up and get all thick. Let's see. I learned my lesson trying to press with a cardboard, trying to do bigger shirts. The shirt moved and it was a disaster. Try to use either a lot of heat tape, completely sealing it, or tacky paper. I still haven't tried your tumbler technique. Why not? No, I do not shrink wrap my tumblers. Join us tomorrow. I'm actually going to be live after 8 because we have Essential Silhouette Studio at 12:30 tomorrow because I might be live first. Actually, I'm going to go live first thing in the morning. After I drop the kids off, I'll be live. So probably around 10-ish because to make sure that I'm off because I have Essential Silhouette Studio. We have our live class for Transform and Replicate tomorrow at 12:30. Tomorrow evening, I have open house. So I won't be back until after. So I'm going to do a late night. So tomorrow's live will be a late night when I'll probably be starting around 9 or 10. No, Eastern Standard Time. We're in Miami, so all my times will always be Eastern Standard Time. All right, so I know I haven't done this one. So now we're going to do the, what's this thing? Coaster. It's what the hell? All right, we do need to use a protective sheet because so that I know where there's no color on this, right? So there's no color. So that I know where to put this, I put a gray line so that this sits inside. As long as it's even around, I know that my design will be centered on it. So because I have that line, I cannot just put this down like this because as you saw here, it will bleed. So I can't just put it down like that. I have to put a piece of protective paper down, and then I'm going to put this on top. This is thick and it's heavy. So my 1-inch tape in strips would not be ideal. If I'm going to use 1-inch tape, I like to use it solid, and I can go straight across, or I will use, oh no, that one is, oh yeah, so this is one. So, where is it? This is the ink here from the side, but you see there, it doesn't come through. I mean, you can see but it's like it didn't change that color. It doesn't come through. You can see it on because of the light and it's double ink, but it doesn't come through. All right, so I'm going to tape this down because I would have used the 2-inch tape, but I don't see one that's open. So I'm going to use a 1-inch tape that's not on the strips because this is thick. The pre-cut strips are too thin for the weight of a ceramic coaster. So I'm going to use a full strip of 1-inch tape. Oh, because it's 10 o'clock. I'm still on. Yeah, it ended at 10 o'clock. I'll extend it because I didn't expect to be on here this long, but we had some technical difficulties with the code and with our print. So I'm going to put this until 10:30 because it's supposed to be 30 minutes when I got off. I was supposed to be off of here at 9:30. So I just extended it to 10:30. Get the early bird now, okay, while I'm live. What am I looking for? There we go. So I did extend it. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to look at it. It's centered. I'm going to go clear across this. Come on now. I'm going to put this side down first. Come right up to the coaster. Go across. Pinch it down so that it locks it in place. So I don't just go across. I made it to where it was right up against it, and that pinches it in place to make sure that it doesn't move as I'm flipping. But you still want to be careful with flipping it. So we're going to turn that over. Now this, I can't really do in 30 seconds because it's ceramic. It takes a little bit more to get that to go through that ceramic. So we're going to let this go for 60 seconds. Really 45. So I'll do it at 45 just so you can see. Well, we'll meet somewhere in the middle. We'll go like 40. We'll go 50. Okay. But it won't be 60 even though it's ceramic. Oh, shoot. Now let's see if it ghosted. Let's see how great this paper is because I closed it forgetting to change the pressure. Let's see. All right. Ooh, I heard that pop. You don't want heavy pressure. I don't want to lift it up and put it down again because it might ghost. This one might ghost too because it was a lot of pressure, so that paper could have moved. So we'll see once this kind of pops up. But I actually forgot because I'm talking to y'all. I forgot to check the pressure. This is why I like to do. My pre-presses are not to pull out moisture. My pre-presses are not to, pull out moisture or to flatten anything out. It's normally just checking the pressure. Oh, did y'all notice when I did the pillow? What didn't I use? There is this little thing that they tell y'all to use all the time, but I didn't use it. I'm saving money. I did not need it. Lower temperature, lower time. So I didn't use something that they teach you to use when it comes to sublimation. What was that? $45 seconds, not 60. No, not the Teflon, not tape. It's something else they tell you to use when you're working on fabrics. A lint roller. Lint roller for what? Who? You get those blue specks because you're burning them. 400 degrees, 60 seconds. Now you can't help it because that paper requires 400 degrees, 60 seconds, but it's all like the paper requires that to release it. The substrate does not require that. It is the paper that requires that 400 degrees, 60 seconds. So when you're applying that 400 degrees to those shirts, that is where you're getting those blue specks from. But at 365, we don't get that because they not like us. Do y'all see that? From here, you can barely see it on the phone. Y'all can kind of see it, but look at that. 45 seconds. Y'all ready? Is this hot? I say, bam. It's hot. So if it falls again, it's just going to fall. 45 seconds. So it takes a little bit longer than 30 seconds. But I think that ended up going, no, I set it to 47. So it probably ended up, by the time I went, it was like 50 seconds, but it would have sublimated in 45 seconds. You see those colors? We have beautiful colors like a peacock. Exactly. Saving, and more saving. You save a lot. If you do this for profit, your profit margins instantly increase by using our paper because you're not going to have to buy or you keep re-upping on your butcher paper. You're not going to have to keep buying lint brushes. You're not going to have to waste a bunch of ink. Your ink is going to last longer. Less electricity because we don't have to use energy to heat this up to 400 degrees. It's only to 365. That's instantly decreasing your electric pull. You're going to be able to get your jobs done faster and not be up under this heat because you're going to get it done faster. Our paper instantly makes you more profit just by switching to this. Okay. We have been doing this for 4 years. Now, if you just finding us, you 4 years late, but it's okay. The rest of your sublimation journey, you can save money. So we did the ceramic, and this is look at these colors. Remember I told y'all this is not premium presentation paper matte. This is plain paper setting. Plain paper setting. This is not premium matte. Look at that color saturation. So we did this. We did this. We did this. Same temperatures. The only thing that was different was the time for our poster because it was ceramic. All done, same temperature, relatively the same time. And even though our first mouse pads messed up, we're about to do another one. Technically, this was also 365, 30 seconds, even though it's jacked up. Okay? Now we're going to do it. Now I'm going to show you the difference. This one had some moisture, and we can see those white casts right there along the bottom. Here, we don't see that. So we should have a really good press with this, okay? So as always, we're going to trim it down. The professor has lost her scissors already. Don't know where they're at. They're somewhere on this table. So we're just going to trim this down with these little Tenichi scissors. You always want to trim down the edges. Actually, you know what? Let's do 2 of these. Tomorrow, I'm going to probably have even drop these in some of the orders. Because I don't need them. If you get one of these tomorrow, be sure to tag us. Post it and tag us if you happen to get a mouse pad. I'll probably make a couple of them, a couple more tomorrow as well. Oh, wait. I almost made a big mistake again. Almost forgot to check that pressure. That's a 2. I need to get it to a 1. There we go. There's a 1. Now I am going to use some tape because I'm doing 2 of these. So I want to use some tape. And I really don't want to grab, hold on, let me see. Dang it, I have no 2-inch tape open. I have no 2-inch tape open. Dang it. I just did tumblers. So where is my 2-inch tape? Because I did tumblers. Hold on. Where in the heck is my 2-inch? I just thought about that. I just did tumblers. I don't know. So the pre-cuts won't work. So you might want to get you 2 of these. You can keep one that you use for longer strips. And if you have that tape dispenser, you can have the pre-cut ones. But you definitely want to keep one that is. So because I used the 1-inch, I had to use a longer strip. If I use the 2-inch, it has more grip to it. So you don't have to use as much tape. Now, this is a different brand of, this is my good ones. This is the cheapy brand. It's made by them other people who sell paper that begins with the first letter of the alphabet. Damn it, I wish I could have done them like both. You can see the difference. The fabric on here, it's woven a lot different. Like it's woven tighter, it's brighter, and the neoprene is a lot thicker. So this, let's test this, shall we? So I want to show you. Wait, I'm going to show you with the other one. Where's that mouse pad that I had? So we're going to see. Like this will also kind of let you know how good this paper is. That it will account for different thicknesses and still come out great. Where the hell did that heat press go? Where did the mouse pad go that fast? How'd you? Oh, I want you to see the difference. When I say to know me is to know that I'm constantly saying they're not all created equal. Look at the difference in these mouse pads. See how I'm going to start over here. So you see how thick that one is and how thin this one is. This one is thick. This one is thin. This is made by them people that make that paper that's 460 seconds. That's, as Eric would say, the #1 leading summation paper. They try to make blanks and they're really thin and cheap. This is my good one. I'm going to use somebody going to get my good one. And some of y'all, somebody going to get that raggedy A-Sub one. So my good one, I'm going to use this black on. Two different thicknesses. Let's see. Because that means that one back there not going to have the same amount of pressure as this thicker one. But it's actually adjusted to the thinner one. So that means this one is going to get heavier pressure. So we're about to really put this to the test. So I'm going to take my cover sheet and put it over the back of it. That way I can just flip it to make sure that it doesn't. Did I? Okay, no, we're good. Oh no, we almost weren't good. Hold on. Okay, now that it's flipped though, I'll just take that off. Okay, the one on the bottom is good. I don't think the one in the back. Let's see. It kind of slid a little bit. Let's see if the one in the back got enough pressure. I don't sell blanks. You see the difference? That one is, I think, that one from Amazon or Johnson's Plastics. I don't remember. I got to look. I actually have gotten some good ones from Amazon as well. Just not the A People brand, but it might be JP Plus. I use 1 inch, 2 inch, and painter's tape. Oh wait, what happened? Wait, what happened? Did I miss something? Why is my shipping so high? UPS ground 21 on an order that's 19. I don't do anything with it. I mean, that seems pretty high. I mean, UPS ground, well, that means that it's not a, I mean, you normally save more when you have a heavier package when you're going through like UPS. So I'm not sure. With that, we don't control the pricing. They set that in all we just set the weight, and whatever they say based off of your zip code, that's what it is. I can't wait to get my paper now. I need to try the tacky paper next. I have to wait until the larger size are back in stock of the tacky. Try the smaller ones though. Don't wait for those because it might be a little while for those. We're actually doing those on a pre-order. But try out the tacky sample sheets. Oh, wow. Interesting. I'm not sure why it's that way. No, we don't sell blanks. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's showing up so high. Okay. So let's see. I want to check this back one first. Ooh, baby, somebody is going to love this tomorrow. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? If you're ready, say you're ready. If you're ready, I know y'all can see it from back there, but it's gonna be different when it come in your face like bam, like ah, like bam, like ow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And these were two different thicknesses. Two. And we're not talking about a little bit of a difference. We're not talking about it. One sits way higher. And even with that, check it out. They not like us. They not like us. I'm telling you. This has literally been the best game-changing paper for the past 4 years as of tomorrow, okay? We are about to hit our 4-year INKiversary in 2 hours, and look at that. Y'all ready to see the black one? Y'all ready to see the black one? I might not give one of y'all this because this looks so good. That black be blacking, baby. Plain paper. And that black is blacking. You hear me? I don't use premium matte, and I get full saturation on those black colors. Do y'all can't handle y'all? You know what? Never mind. Y'all can't handle these. I don't think y'all ready. Y'all not ready for your projects to be bomb.com. Let me tell y'all think I'm playing. I'm gonna have him posted. There's a guy that's local to me. It was 4th of July because we've been in for 4 years. So it was 4th of July 3 years ago. He was like, I literally went to him, helped him with his printer. He was having issues with colors, hooked him up or whatever. He got the paper. His mother said, well, what the hell you do? Like, what you change? The colors, immediate difference. From that moment, he increased the price of his shirts because the quality that he had before, he said, me giving them this now, it looks like, so anybody that purchased the shirt before, they will see the difference. His mother pointed out the difference. He could not believe it. He instantly changed the prices of his shirt because the colors were just that bomb. It will change the quality of your prints to where you feel like, look, I can't just be selling this for anything. Okay? Look at that. It's quality. Oh. My black always be browning. Who paid you? My black? You buy mine? Can't be. Unless you're not using this paper and you're doing over 400 degrees. Because I've never had brown. And I've tried to actually over sublimate and I still don't get brown. Can't be using my products. She says, you can just send me the template. Okay. So y'all will really make y'all they not like HS Ink mouse pad? See, you know what, Teresa? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna drop that. I will anybody that order, I will have to resend it to you, but I can make it where it's also an instant download with the paper. So I will do that. I will make it an instant download. Y'all gotta give me time to set it up, but I can do that. And I can also drop it in the vault. Oh, I have a sawgrass. It's sitting. Well, y'all can't see it. Yeah, y'all can see it. See, it's right there. Yeah, I've had that issue with the sawgrass before. Now, I use our paper, but I've had that issue with like the inks on certain things. That black is blacking, right? Thank you, Jesse, for the peacocks. You like the black one the most? Yes, this thing is fire. I mean, you can see the, like, oh my God, that's so dope. That's so dope. Only paper I use. Thank you, Jesse. All paper is on sale. So if you are just joining, all 4 sizes tonight, all of the Fast Drive is on sale. You spend $45 or more, you get an additional $5 off. It's automatic at checkout for the next 5 minutes. Okay, it's only good for 5 minutes. But all the sizes, 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, 13 by 19. It's our INKiversary. So in honor of our 4 years, we literally made all the papers $15.63. If you don't know, all of our prices include $3.65. That's how you will always remember your temperature. Our prices will always include $3.65 or the number 30 somewhere. And $3.65 will go forwards or backwards. So it'll be like $5.63, $15.63, $25.63, or it'll be $13.65, $15.65, $25.63. Our classes, our paper, our ink, everything literally has $3.65 or 30 in it. I teach branding. So that's a part of our brand is all prices include that or 30. So if we have like that weird space, like we the 8.5 by 11 used to be 20/30. So we always use that. But I have to let y'all know something. So y'all see these colors, right? So I do have a little bit of bad news. Just a little bit of bad news. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of bad news. Y'all want bad news? Or y'all want to be left in the dark? Yeah, a little bit of bad news. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of bad news. Come September 1st, this paper will not be available technically to the general public. Now it will be on the website. And if you love it enough and you're willing to pay $50 some odd for the 13 by 19, $30 some odd for the 8.5 by 14, you feel like it's worth it, I mean, do you? But technically, the true price of this will only be available to those who will have our VIP membership, to where you can get exclusive discounts, or you can join our Creative Lounge. That's over on our Academy site. You join our Creative Lounge, and each month you will get a 60% off coupon every single month. So you don't have to, like, if you don't need paper this month, it's fine. You don't have to buy the paper every single month. But if you join our Creative Lounge, that is exclusive access to discounts on the paper. We are moving. This paper is too good to just be some regular Joe Schmo. When it comes to elite products, there's exclusivity to it. Okay. And I was like, this is like, the Rolls Royce, the Maybach of it. We just can't make this available to anybody. So as of September 1st, if you are not in the Creative Lounge, or you purchase a yearly VIP membership, you're going to pay a whole lot of money for this bomb paper. But if you're in Creative Lounge, not only do you get trainings on your business, you get to see Watch Me Works, you get to see Watch Me Designs. We have exclusive sessions. We just had one about motivation where we talked about 10 things to help you ramp up your motivation. Our design challenges in the fourth quarter of the year. You get access to that. You get access to the replays of our pro calls. You have organized, frequently asked questions. You don't have to search all over the world for the most asked questions. And if there's a question that you guys come up, I'll put it in there and it's going to be organized. You literally can type in the keyword and go right to the question and the answer. The Creative Lounge is where you want to be. So after September 1st, you'll still see the paper. Now, if you catch pre-orders, if you check your emails and you catch pre-orders, or if you check your emails, there'll be times where we'll send out discount codes via email only, even if you're not a part of VIP. Every once in a while, we'll send out one. You'll have to catch it for Cyber Monday, Black Friday. That time, we'll run a little something for that. Outside of that, the price is going to go up because there will always be discount codes for our Incredibles, which is our VIP, and our Creative Lounge members. They will have access. You will get a 60% off coupon, like 1/6 that you can use one time per month. And even after that, you'll still get a discount. So because you're in VIP or in the VIP or you're in Creative Lounge, we don't want you to, I'm sorry, it's a 50%. The VIP is 60. The Creative Lounge is 50%. But we don't want you to, ever have to pay that. So you'll get the 50% off one, which will put you actually lower than what we charge now. Well, before. It'll still put you lower than that. And then you'll get a 45%. The 45% one can be used all month long. But that 50, is it 50 or 50? It might be 60%. But that high one, you can only use it one time a month. But it does reset. So unfortunately, this paper will no longer be general public paper. The best deals are in our memberships. Because it's now after 10. You had to get it early. So, Jane, I kept telling y'all, I pushed it back a couple times. I'm supposed to be off of here. I missed putting my kids to bed. I was supposed to be here at 9 o'clock, and that code was supposed to be good for 30 minutes afterwards. I will do it till 11. But then that means that the code, the prices are going to go back up. Well, not up, but you won't have the code afterwards. Now, if you go to the website, I forgot to activate it on there, and I think I forgot to put it in the description. If you get on the INKiversary list, the email list, an email is going out where you can take advantage of it that way. If you missed it, make sure you're checking your emails. But I will have that. I will go because I forgot to put the pop-up on the website. Just go back to the website. It's going to be a pop-up. Get on the list, and the email will go out to make sure that you're checking your emails tomorrow or that. Okay. Boom. No, the ink sale, the ink price will not change until tomorrow. The ink price will not change until tomorrow, but you may not get the extra $5. So you have to make a decision. Is it worth it? Now, we do kind of combine ship. If you can, I will say that my husband's really great about that. And the team is to where if they see 2 orders and they catch it, a lot of times they try to combine shipping on it. But yeah, the ink is not on there tonight. Tonight, we're just focusing on paper. Oh, so someone asks, yes, our paper works with any ink because the power is in the paper. Now, colors, that comes from ink. But if you're using a converted printer, your colors are still going to be off. But the paper can be used with any ink, whether it is a third-party ink, if it is the Epson's, F570, out that I have some over here. If it's that one, if it's Sawgrass, the paper works with any inks. Yes, the ink will be on sale tomorrow. So it's actually going to start at because it's we can't. It sucks because there's no 365. So I think that it's set to activate at 6:35. Yeah, I think it's 6:35 in the morning. Because I was trying to figure out the one for like 365. Because at first we thought about doing 4:30 because it's our 4 years, and then the 30. But I don't feel like waking up that early. So I want to say my alarm is set for 6 o'clock because it goes live again at 6:35 in the morning. Because I was like, I'm not waking up at 4:30. That's not gonna happen, Cap. Because that's why I really wanted to do it at 4:30 because it's our 4 years and then the 30 seconds. But I'm not waking up that early. No, I'm not gonna do it. So I want to say it's 6:35 because I think the 5:36, I was like, I don't feel like waking up that early either. So I want to say that the ink and stuff goes live on sale at 6:35 a.m. is what I have on my alarm. Yeah. All righty. I got to go, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. I don't know where my stuff went. Oh, there you go. And B, E. Oh, I almost forgot the most important thing, and I know all y'all are halfway gone. When you go to the website to get your paper, this is not shipped. This is a digital product. Please go to Essentials and get your color chart. You should not be designing on your own without a color chart. Now, if it's pre-made designs, that's one thing, but you need a color chart. We have it pre-set up to do it on a tumbler so you can see it on hard substrates, and then you can press it to felt or you can press it to fabric, but you need a color chart. You need a color chart. So head back over to the website, go to Essentials, and get yourself a color chart. If you've never used one, you've never downloaded one, it's $8. Go get the color chart. You need to print it, you need to sub it, and then it will show you the colors. You will never be surprised about colors again. If you're looking for a certain shade of red, when you press it, you will see the code. As long as you have a program that allows you to enter the hex code, you enter that in. Don't matter what it looks like on your screen. Might look crazy on your screen. Don't worry about that. If you print this out, you press it in the settings. When you're looking at this, there's no surprises. You see it here. That's the color you want. You input that. It's going to look crazy on your screen. Don't worry about that. Print it out, press it. You will never be disappointed in the color output that you get because you're going to know automatically how those colors come out. Go back and get your color chart. It's under Essentials. If you don't have one already, go back and get your color charts, okay? All right, with that being said, until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace. I'll be back tomorrow.